Let's begin by going to Munich and also the Parc de France, because I said we are just a couple of hours away now from a kickoff. 2 hours, 30 minutes. Fans already in the stadium, many more arriving, as you can see. A moment for the history books, not for Inter. They've won it 3 times. For PSG and their fans, well, right now all over Paris you can see shirts of supporters everywhere, but even more so, I imagine, in Munich. Let's go to Munich and then to the Parc de France. Let's start with James. Great to talk to you. What a place to be tonight. What's the atmosphere like there?
Well, Gavin, the atmosphere is slowly but surely building up. It has been actually since early on today. We've been just mingling with the fans from this afternoon. We were in a fan zone earlier in the centre of Munich. A lot of fans very hopeful for what's to come tonight, and definitely staying very cool. That's perhaps starting to change a little bit as we get a little bit closer to kickoff. Kickoff, of course, is at 9 p.m. Over here in Paris, same time. Over here in Munich, same time as in Paris. And it's been a couple of hours. Also, the fans have been making their way here into the stadium, the Allianz Arena Stadium, Bayern Munich's home grounds, which you can see behind me here. And definitely filling up slowly but surely. We have a chance. We've had a lot of, just a few moments ago, we've had a bus full of former players from Paris Saint-Germain just empty here as they also make their way through. There's a lot of stars and a lot of guests who've been invited to watch the game. A lot of guests, I say, because 18,000 supporters from either side, from Paris Saint-Germain and from Inter Milan, have been allowed in, which leaves a lot of space. There's a 70,000 place capacity in the stadium over here in Munich. So a lot of other guests making their way here. And it's been so far very good atmosphere. Just a few moments ago, though, we were towards the metro station, and there were some of the more radical fans from the Inter side who began throwing flames towards Paris Saint-Germain fans. Needless to tell you that the German police dealt with the situation very rapidly. I don't know what they shouted at them, but even those who were hooded and masked, they obeyed very, very quickly. No one wants to miss out on watching what could be an exceptional match tonight. Exceptional for Inter Milan because of their success in getting here, of course. The difficulty they had to go through to be able to find their place in the final. A second place, though, in 2 years. Well, in 3 years, the last one being not last year, but the year before that. Paris Saint-Germain, exceptional night as well, as you mentioned. This could be the first ever time that they lift a big ears, and that's because they got close to it 5 years ago. They lost to the team Bayern Munich, but that was happening over in Lisbon. This time round, it's a different story, and the hope is very, very high that they can bring the trophy back and take it for a display down the Champs-Élysées tomorrow night. That would be the plan.
Yeah, and on paper, not just hope's high, James, but they're the bookies' favourite too, aren't they? Odds on.
Yes, they are. Look, why are they? I mean, look at what they've been able to achieve throughout the season. I mean, let's concentrate on the Champions League just to look at how they've been able to impress on the European level, because Paris Saint-Germain have, for a long time now, mastered the Ligue 1 over in France, but the European Championship is a different story for them. They've never been able to perform in the way they've wanted to, but this time round, it's a different story for them. Why? Look at their last 3 games coming in. They eliminated the likes of Arsenal, they eliminated the likes of Liverpool on penalties, and also Aston Villa, 3 big British clubs who've been performing well this season, and that's given a lot of hope to them. And they've been doing it in style as a team. This is a revamped team as compared to, as I mentioned, their last team that was here, that was in the final 5 years ago. Exit the stars, exit Messi, Mbappe, etc. In come the new bloods, and that makes them the youngest squad actually in the tournament this year. And they've been scoring, the likes of Ousmane Dembele with his 9 goals in the tournament so far, and they've been tough at the back. Donnarumma, also in between the sticks, has been at time hesitant, but in those last few games, as I mentioned just there, he's really saved Paris Saint-Germain and shown the strength that he has. That doesn't mean, though, that Inter Milan don't have a strong goalkeeper also on their side in the likes of Jan Sommer, Switzerland's goalkeeper, of course, there, and he knows the stadium here, having played for Bayern Munich. But he's been extremely impressive, especially in that last semi-final, saving his side, saving Inter Milan from elimination by Barcelona.
James, thank you. Let's go from James, 425 miles, 700 kilometres away. back here to Paris. These are the scenes as people, if you can't watch it there, you can watch it here in Paris at the PSG Stadium, the Stade de France, where Selina Sykes is tonight. Selina, it's not free, is it? It's pay to get in, but it's clearly busy. It's 48,000 people there tonight?
That's right, Gavin. Obviously, only a very lucky few have managed to make it to Munich. So for PSG fans who are staying here in the French capital, this is the best ticket in town. As you said, 40,000 fans are expected this evening. That is almost a full stadium capacity. PSG who put out an extra 10,000 tickets here due to very popular demand. Lots of excitement here already, as you can imagine. A lot of PSG fans already gathering around the Parc de France with chants being sung and flares being thrown into the air. Doors don't open here until 7:30, but already a lot of fans around waiting for the anticipation for being allowed into the stadium. There'll be 4 giant screens on the pitch this evening for fans who will be in the stands to watch that Champions League final, that highly anticipated Champions League final. Obviously, after the heartbreak of 2020 when they lost in their first Champions League final against Bayern Munich, I would say fans that we've spoken to so far are pretty confident this time round. They feel that this is a very different side from the bling-bling we saw a few years ago. We now have a much younger side, as James mentioned, that Luis Enrique has built from scratch himself. A lot of fans saying that they feel that this is their time, second time round. And if I might just say, as a Chelsea fan myself, well, Munich is a good omen for teams who are attempting to win their first Champions League final a second time round. Chelsea did it back in 2012, also in Munich.
Have you spotted any Inter fans walking around Paris?
I would say, Gavin, that I have not spotted any Inter fans, a lot of French fans, but also we've come across a few international fans, a few British fans wearing PSG shirts here for the weekend for Roland Garros, which is obviously just around the corner. But no, I think it would be, shall we say, quite a risky bet to be parading around in an Inter Milan shirt here right now in Paris.
You're having the ideal day as a sports correspondent, aren't you? Haven't you been watching the Roland Garros as well before? Bring us up to date with what you've been going on the other side of Paris.
That's right, Gavin. Obviously, it's sports galore here in Paris this weekend. There was obviously that highly anticipated match. Well, there we go. Obviously, the main event, obviously, Gavin, is the football, so maybe we'll just let the tennis lie for this one. But yeah, obviously tennis around the corner as well, Gavin, Roland Garros, but obviously the big event here, as you can see, with some very overexcited PSG fans, is obviously the football, but obviously the tennis is just around the corner as well, most notably Jack Draper, who went through in straight sets, the Brit, world number 5, who saw off João Fonseca, the Brazilian, a teenage sensation in straight sets. But obviously we're outside the Parc de France for that Champions League final, which will be kicking off at 9 p.m. And as you can see, a lot of excitement here outside the Parc de France.
Look, I think if that's football comportment amongst fans, that's pretty good, actually. That's our best behaviour. If that was Wembley right now, I think I'd be closing my eyes. Selina, great to talk to you. Selina Sykes at Parc de France.